What's up, YouTube? Two Movies here. Here is my throwback segment where I talk about the films that turned 10, 20, and 30 this week. Alright, the films celebrate their 10th anniversary. We, of course, got the thriller Close Circuit, directed by John Crowley, who also gave us the Sergio Leone movie Brooklyn, and it stars the likes of Rebecca Hall, Eric Bana, and here's what it's about. It is about a terrorist attack in London that results in the capture of suspect Faruka Oregon, played by Dennis Almodóvar. The Attorney General appoints Claudia Simons Howe, played by Rebecca Hall, as a special advocate of Aragon's legal team. So, of course, it's pretty much like, an espionage thriller type of film. I don't know what I remember watched this one back in back then. I was not really all that impressed by it. I mean, you do got some good cast members. You got Urbana, who's always great. Rebecca Hall, who of course I saw in person one time. She's always terrific. But yeah, this movie was just completely boring. Didn't really make much sense. I'm like, yeah, this is a little bit forgettable. So yeah. Anyway, also turning 10, we got the thriller Getaway, starring Ethan Hawke, Selena Gomez. This is also directed by Courtney Solomon, who's directed some terrible films like American Haunting, the 2000 version of Dungeons and Dragon. I would say this is maybe his better film, in my opinion. I mean, that's not saying much, obviously. But Getaway, if you guys don't know much about this, it stars Ethan Hawke as Brent Magna, um, who must get behind the wheel and follow the orders of a mysterious man here. And of course, you got Selena Gomez, who's pretty decent though. Of course, Ethan Hawke is really good. You got John Voight, who's actually playing like the villain in this. It is actually a fun thrill ride, really entertaining. Ethan Hawke's really good in this, so I had a fun time with it. I mean, it's not really memorable or anything like that. It's not a great film, but it was a fun time at the movies. All right, also turning 10, we got One Direction, This Is Us, which is, of course, the concert film with, of course, hot boy band at the time, One Direction. I mean, this was okay, I guess. Of course, this was from the. This was actually from director Morgan Spurlock, who you might know, who gave us Super Size Me. So interesting to see him go from a documentary about McDonald's to a documentary about One Direction. So that's an interesting getaway right there. He also did Super High Me as well. He's done some really cool documentaries over the years, and this is actually a really intriguing one. I mean, I was never like a huge One Direction guy, but I actually enjoy their music. Like they have some really decent music to them, and I do like the footage here was interesting. So not a bad documentary. So really decent flick. All right, now turning 20, we got Jeepers Creepers 2, the follow-up to 2001's Jeepers Creepers. And of course, this was, the of course, if you guys don't know much about Jeepers Creepers 2, this of course once again was directed by Victor Salva, who, yeah, I'm just so glad. Even though the last film was terrible, I'm just glad he did not direct it. But still, oh boy, let's be real. The Jeepers Creepers franchise has not been great since the original. And part two, well, there are actually people who do like part two, but I'm not one of them, to be honest. Yeah. Uh, like this time around, Jeepers Creepers 2, which is the demonic creature and mysterious serial killer who pursues a school bus filled with high school students. Of course, you have Ray Wise, who wants to try hunt down and kill the killer here. And yeah, and of course you got Jonathan Bragg reprising his role. I mean, the original Jeepers Creepers is an all-time classic. It's really fun, creepy, and everything. It was, of course, directed by Victor Salva, who, yeah, take his personal life aside, the original Jeepers Creepers is still a really decent one. But yeah, the franchise just hasn't done great since the original. And Jeepers Creepers 2, I was never too big with. So yeah. Uh, Also turning 20, we got the film Silver Brand. Now, Silver Brand was of course directed by Nima Barnett and starred famed rapper The Brat, along with Bush Wright, Mos Def, Lisa Gay McCoy, and Monica Calhoun. And it's about a group of female inmates fighting back against their abusers and taking over Whitehead Correctional Institution, where they are incarcerated. Silverbrand is a really terrific film. I mean, I believe this was actually the Brat's first like acting debut, and I thought the Brat was really good in this. Most Def, who's always great, he was pretty decent. The whole movie does take place in a prison, and really felt like Orange is the New Black before Orange is the New Black became a thing. So really decent film if you guys haven't seen it. All right, also turning 20, we got Party Monster, which is based on a true story and stars Macaulay Culkin as the drug-addled king of the club kids. The film tells the story of the rise and fall of the infamous New York City party promoter Michael Alec. This was actually Macaulay Culkin's first film in nearly 9 years since his starring role in 1994's Richie Rich. You also had other cast members like Seth Green, Chloe Sevigny, speaking of Orange Black, Natasha Lyonne, Wilmer Valderrama. You even had John Stamos was in this, Marilyn Manson, Dylan McDermott, the guy from Mean Girls, Daniel Franzas was also in this. I mean, Party Monster is terrific. Macaulay Culkin really embodied this role perfectly. Of course, at the time, Macaulay Culkin was dealing with like personal issues and everything. So seeing him like make a little bit of an acting comeback was interesting, and seeing him like play a role like this shows how grown up he was, and he was not just that Kevin McAllister we knew anymore. I mean, pretty much. Listen, for The Good Son was really the movie that really branched him out, should tell him more, but this definitely really showed the case. And Macaulay Culkin, Seth Green was also great in this. Really intriguing film. I mean, the whole true story aspect is insane. So, yeah, if you guys haven't really seen Party Monster, do yourself a favor, go watch it. It is a really intriguing film. Chloe Sevigny was also great in this. I mean, really good, but intense, and oh boy, this is a film that you're not really gonna want to watch over again. So yeah. All right, now film turning dirty this week. We got The Man Without the Face, which was actually the directorial debut by Mel Gibson, who of course go on to win his Oscar for Braveheart. And this movie is about young Chuck Nostop, played by Nick Stein, who wants nothing more than to join the military academy like his father. Um, but he is wary of the school's lofty academic standard, with only a single summer in which a study is for the entrance exam. Chuck finds an unlikely tutor in the form of Justin McLeod, played by Mel Gibson, a disfigured recluse who was once a teacher. McLeod agrees to teach Chuck, and the two form a deep friendship until Chuck learns the secret behind McLeod's terrible scars. Now, I remember seeing this film on TV one time. It is really intriguing. I mean, the chemistry between Nick Stott, by the way, doesn't really do Hall anything anymore. I remember he, of course, appeared in in Terminator 3. His other credit, he was also in Sin City. Uh, I mean, he doesn't really do as much as he used to, and he was actually pretty good in this one. Mel Gibson having his directorial debut, and this was intriguing. It is really interesting. Crazily, that's just based on a true story. And Mel Gibson, obviously he was playing a character who's the figure, so seeing him like play a character like that was interesting. I mean, Mel Gibson, I think, is a really soft filmmaker, by the way. Say what you want about Mel Gibson's personal life and everything like that. I always thought he was a good filmmaker. Obviously, after this, he will go on to win his Oscar for Braveheart, which was terrific too. Of course, he would go on to direct Hacksaw Ridge, Passion of the Christ. He still said to do with Secret of Passion of the Christ, as well as Lethal Weapon 5. So he's done some other interesting directing movies as well. And this is maybe one that doesn't get talked about, but it is really intriguing. I mean, especially since it was his directorial effort, and he did a great job with this film. So definitely give this one a go if you guys ever seen it. All right. Also turning 30, we got Needful Things, which is based on the Stephen King novel of the same name. The film was directed by Fraser C. Heston, the son of Charlton Heston. This is the only film without his father in the cast, and stars the likes of Ed Harris, Max von Sydow, J.T. Walsh, and it's about a mysterious new shop that opens in a small town, which always seems to slog the deepest desire each shopper, with the price far heavier than expected. Now, this is not like one of the best Stephen King adaptations, but it is a really intriguing one. Ed Harris was great in this. Max von Sydow was really creepy. I mean, he is obviously a horror icon, going all the way back to The Exorcist. And this is a really intriguing one, nonetheless. I never really read the book, but I remember watching this one on TV. I was really creeped out how creepy this thing was. So definitely give Needful Things a go if you guys haven't seen that. Last but not least, also showing 30 is this movie called Fatherhood, where about a deadbeat dad who kidnaps his son from the bus. It is based on a true story and experiences of Michael J. Hardy, and this is a really crazy true story flick. It also starred it even starred like Halle Berry, Patrick Swayze was also in this. Directed by Daryl Root. I mean, this movie is really intense. It definitely has some comedic humor too. The chemistry between Patrick Swayze and Halle Berry is pretty good. Really decent film. Like this is pretty much one of Patrick Swayze movie that does not really get talked about as much. I mean, obviously, whenever you think of Patrick Swayze, you always think of Dirty Dancing, Roadhouse, Ghost. This is one that does not really get talked about as much, but it's a really intriguing film if you guys haven't seen that. But that's pretty much it. Let me leave you guys. Which of these films stand out to you the most? To me, the 10-year ones, I'm probably going to say Getaway. I mean, it's not a great film, but it is actually the better one on that list. The 20-year one, I'm going to go with Party Monster. And the 30-year one, I'm actually going to go with The Man Without a Face. Anyway, drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for notification. This is Him Sign.